Hi again, everybody. Bill Phillips here. It is the 9-minute Phill-Up. It is a Thursday in the middle of July. It is July 11th, and it is a beautiful day outside. And we have a beautiful guest with us today, Rich Donnelley, Steubenville native. And of course, you know him from his Major League Baseball exploits as a coach, a World Series champion with the Marlins, also a World Baseball Classic champion with the United States, and we're getting ready for the Olympics, Rich, and I love the Olympics. So you put that USA across your chest. What is it, before we get started more intro, what does that feel like when USA is on your jersey?
You just gave me chills. The thing I remember most about the tournament, it was only a 22-day tournament.
Okay.
And we started in Miami, then we went to San Diego, then LA. Well, the last night we were in Dodger Stadium. They lined us up. We're playing the Puerto Rican team, and they played our national anthem. And when you had that USA shirt on, all I could think of was when I was little, like you watching the Olympics, watching all the great teams, baseball, Pan American, whatever. And you're not representing the Valley, but you're representing the whole country, USA, every citizen in that country. And it's almost overwhelming to think that, I mean, you're not the Pittsburgh Pirate, you're not a Marlin, you're not a Dodger. That particular day, you're every person in the United States, and it's just an awesome feeling.
Did you think back when you listen to the anthem and you've got the weight of, okay, there's expectations, we're the United States, our national pastime, we should win. Did you think back, was there a second one you went, hey, kid from Steubenville, not doing too bad?
Yeah, well, I just thought, you think back to your Little League days and how it all started, never dreaming that you'd be in this position to represent our country, wear the Team USA uniform. And even now I look back at the pictures 5 years ago of me in that uniform, and it's like, that's somebody else. That's not me. Because when you're little, everybody who had that USA shirt on, why, they were something, and I never said, I'm just a kid from Steubenville. But the first thing I thought of all the times you played Little League and then you wanted to be on a team, and then maybe you could be in the Olympics someday, but not really. No chance.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And it's one of those things that people remember the World Series championship. Sometimes they forget about the World Baseball Classic. But how has that grown? Because Shohei Ohtani with Mike Trout a year or so ago, when they had that battle in the ninth inning, USA against Japan, it seemed like everybody on the planet was watching it.
Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger. It's like I tell people, like in baseball, I've thrown 5 home run derbies, and when I first started those, they were like small. Now they're more popular than the actual game. And this the World Baseball Classic has grown and grown and grown. And the year that we won it, and because it was the first time USA won it, I didn't even know that until we got in it. And I was of course with Jim Leland, and Jim said, do you realize that this thing in 10 years is going to be bigger than the All-Star game? And I think it's getting to that point.
People love to represent their countries, and the countries get behind them. And what Copa America's on right now, soccer championships, North and South America, the Euro championships, and it's just the fandom and the national pride going into the Olympics. It is going to be sensational. But you mentioned something about the World Baseball Classic being bigger than the All-Star game. All-Star Stadium's still pretty big. So let's talk about that. We have the All-Star game coming up. You have the home run derby, but that one everyone seems to be circling, no matter where he goes right now, is this Paul Skeens fella that was drafted number 1 overall by the Pirates, and he's just come on board and been bigger than the hype.
He's the best pitcher in baseball. My good friend, Tim Kirchin and Jason Stark. I texted him the other day and I said, guys, Skeens has to start that All-Star game, doesn't he? And they both said, these guys have been in baseball 40 years covering ball, and they both said, absolutely. He's the biggest thing in baseball. And for him to start that game, I'm telling you what, that audience would be unbelievable to see him pitch against the best players in baseball in the other league.
What is it about? You've seen so many players that have developed into superstars, players that have maybe had superstar written on them and they fade. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. What is the difference? What is the mindset for a guy like Skeens to come in The physical tools are all there, but as a pitcher to have that mentality that I'm ready, I can get this done.
First thing I think of when I first heard about him, like you said, I thought about the physical stuff, throwing 100 miles an hour, having 5 pitches, throwing the splinker, the thing the ball that sinks, and 92 miles an hour. But as I watched him and as I've read about him, his mental approach, having went to the Air Force Academy, he is so regimented in his warm-up. He has a phenomenal warm-up session. He uses all these things out in the bullpen, but the mental approach, we always talk about a player in baseball having 5 tools. Well, he has a sixth tool. That sixth tool is his brain. I mean, this guy here is so well prepared. That's why I think he's going to be great down the line. And we just hope he doesn't hurt his arm, things like that. But his mental approach, I mean, you figure a guy was in college at Air Force Academy, and 4 years later, he's going to maybe start the All-Star game and be talked about as the best pitcher in baseball. You have to be mentally tough to do that. And I think he's beyond mentally tough.
He goes today against Milwaukee. Pirates are about 9.5 back off the top of my head. How big is this start for him if he can get them, lead them? He doesn't necessarily have to get the win, but if he gets the win for the club when he starts, that it's got to give him a break, because if they lose, all of a sudden we're double digits back.
Right. Yeah. You have to stay as we get closer to August. Once you get to August, if you're somewhere between 8 games out, maybe 5 games out, you can make that up in 2 months. But you start getting 10, 11, 12 games out, it's very hard to gain on your division, because you're playing your division and you're not going to sweep too many teams. You're going to split the series, or at best win 2 out of 3. So you only gain 1 game. So this game today, it's a huge game. They're playing Milwaukee. If they win the game, they'll be down to 8.5 out. Not too bad going into and then they got the White Sox, which they should do well against.
Everybody
going into the break.
Sox.
However, they have a real tough second half. They play the Guardians, they play the Dodgers, they play the Astros, plus the Cardinals, who are playing real well. And the Reds are starting to play better now. And then the Cubs, I think, will be. So, but this game here, you're facing the best team so far in their division, and they can hit, as they proved last night. So this is a huge game for him to keep the Pirates in the pennant race, and to show the other division that, hey, this guy can beat anybody.
All right, everybody. He is Rich Donnelley. He is a wealth of knowledge about Major League Baseball. Why not? He coached in the Major League for decades, and then the World Baseball Classic Championship, World Series Championship with the Marlins, and of course, one of the all-time favorite coaches of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And of course, the early run in the 90s was just sensational. Just didn't end the way everybody had really hoped. But he joins us today. And right now, Rich, we have to say hello. We have to say hello to Karen, I believe. I'm going to put Karen up there. She checks in every day. Karen, good morning. So we get talking, and if I get started on baseball with someone like Rich, it's all over. I have a tough time paying attention to anything else. But right now, so that's Karen. Karen, hello. Thank you. Oh, Ron's here. Ron is joining us. Rich, what is the biggest need for the Pirates as we head to the trade deadline? So, Ron, this is going to be the last question, but I want people, if you have questions, send them in, and we will talk about that before we take a bit of a break. But first, good morning, sir. Good morning. Craig, good morning. Back to Ron. What is the biggest need for the Pirates as we head to the trade deadline?
I think because of just the nature of the position. Then Jim Leland always used to say, when you think you have enough starting pitchers in a room, open the door and stick one more in there, because something's going to happen. The Pirates have had injuries, Jones, Falter, and you pray to the Lord that nothing else happens. You need probably 7 starting pitchers, 7 or 8 during the year, just because of injuries. Guys are going to have bad years. So the need, I think, is another starting pitcher, and if they could possibly add a bat, even a DH, they need more production. They're not hitting real well. Their pitching is the thing that's keeping them going. So in answer to the question, I'd say a starting pitcher and another bat.
All right, starting pitcher and another bat. And we have Karen saying no worries to me about taking the time getting there. Adam has checked in. Coach Rich has taught my son so much. True role model. And Hunter, our man Hunter, how about my man Hunter? He went to the Biasi Shuma race this weekend. We had mentioned, hey, go up to the race, support the race. He shows up, walks the race, and he introduces himself. So now he told me he's not going to be able to do the Petrella race at Jim Wood in Steubenville this weekend because he's on vacation. Went up to Michigan.
That's a great event up there in Toronto. Yeah.
So and speaking of Biasi Shuma, speaking of Mike Biasi, speaking of Valley Converting, if you have paper products that you need to recycle, that's where you go. You head to Toronto, head to the Gem City. Ask for Valley Converting. You can't miss it. It's right in the middle of town, and they will take care of your paper products. If you have sensitive documents, they can take care of that too. I love the beater up there. You go, it looks like a pool in there. You throw your cardboard box, you think all of a sudden just disappears like it's all beaten up. Well, right now, before we have more with Rich, we're going to take a quick break for a word from our sponsor.
Every piece of paper has a story. What if that story didn't end when you were done with it?
At Valley Converting, we turn your old paper products into recycled paperboard, continuing the story.
Locally owned and operated in Toronto, Ohio, bringing your paper to Valley Converting isn't just about recycling.
It's about supporting a cleaner, greener future for all of us.
We are here 5 days a week to help you make some green by going green.
And remember,
recycle for your future.
So again, thank you to Valley Converting for all their support. We can't thank them enough. The other one that I like, the catch line, Rich, is give a book a new life. So if you're done, everyone's read it, recycle it, turn it into some paper. So we could do that. Now, Rich, we also do national days, and today we'll pick one that you like best. We have 7-Eleven Day, so that's Slurpee Day. You get your free Slurpee. Mojito Day. Mojito Day, get yourself a little refreshment, a little mojito out on the porch. Yeah. Yesterday was Pina Colada Day, so apparently the summertime is when all the drink days come out. American Pet Photo Day. So if you have a pet,
that's good. I get two. Yeah, Charlie and Junior.
There you go.
We'll take a
picture.
Yeah,
Charlie and who? Junior.
Charlie and Junior, baby Junior.
All right, so they're two dogs, a cat and a dog.
They're labradoodles.
Oh, okay.
They're brothers.
All right,
and they're very famous in Wintersville, Ohio, because my wife walks them every day, and everybody honks at her and go, "Oh, how beautiful these dogs are!" And they are. They're like our. We have eight kids and 12 grandkids, but they're like our kids now. They're 2 years old and I think 3 years old, but they're brothers. Yeah, baby Junior and Charlie. They're beautiful.
All right, baby Junior and Charlie. We need a photo for you. And now here's the one. There's a couple other ones, but the one I'm going to put a star next to is Blueberry Muffin Day.
Ooh,
Blueberry Muffin Day.
I eat.
This is superfood.
This is true.
Okay.
I eat a blueberry muffin every single morning.
All right.
When my wife goes to the grocery store, I always get junk, peanuts, chips, blueberry muffin and coffee every morning for the last 15 years. So I love blueberry muffins. So
they're fantastic. All right,
I'm all in. I'm all in.
Number one day of the day for National Day is Blueberry Muffin Day.
I'm in.
All right. So now you talked about your home run derby exploits. Well, and didn't really talk about the exploits. You said you pitched them. You gave up some bombs. You did a great job. That's exactly what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're trying to tell me what your favorite moment was with when you're literally out there and you get in a groove and the hitter gets in a groove. Talk to me about that.
Well, my first one, and I was coaching for the Pirates, and the All-Star game was here in 1994. And they had said, "Rich, would you throw to a guy, whoever, pick one out, Frank Thomas, Griffey?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll throw one." And we had another coach, and he was our batting practice coach, and there's 54,000 people there.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
And he got a little nervous and he couldn't throw a strike. So Griffey points to me. He says, "I want Rich." So I go out and I throw to Griffey. Then Frank Thomas was next. And I threw to him and he gave up the ball. He hit 540 feet. Yep. Then all of a sudden there was Mike Piazza. Then all of a sudden.
That ball's not still going.
Oh, it's still, boy. I threw, Bill, they said something like 780 pitches. I threw the whole home run derby.
Oh, I remember.
It was 92 minutes in the hot sun. It was in the afternoon. Yep. And the thing I'm most proud of was that Ken Griffey won the tournament. He had 6 on the upper deck. Frank Thomas hit the longest ball ever, three rivers, about 540, in left center upper deck. But out of those 780 pitches, I threw one ball.
That's the best part.
So I was good at the carnivals. Yeah. I could go to carnivals with my kids. I come home with stuffed animals all the time. But that's one thing I could do. It was from throwing rocks on Langley Avenue in Steubenville. Okay. I could throw rocks at the street signs. So I think that's where I got and then we had apple fights on days it rained.
Yeah.
These green apples, and you
Yeah.
fire them at people.
Oh, yeah.
And I could hit anybody from about 30, 40 feet. So all that, I think, helped in my career.
I got a real quick story about you helped me out on that All-Star game in '94 because I went up and my real good friend of mine, and I'm Uncle Bill to all of his sons. And the first one, Brady, was born yesterday, July 10th, '94, and that was the day before the All-Star game. So went up and there was the home run. There was the softball game.
Yeah,
and Meatloaf was there.
I threw the Meatloaf. Meatloaf could hit.
Oh,
he had some power, man. He was hitting them off the wall.
But you know the first thing about Meatloaf, he doesn't talk about how he can hit. It's the first rule of it. Batting practice. It's kind of like first rule of fight.
Yeah,
you don't talk about.
You don't talk about it. Yeah.
But so, anyways, I remember I thought to myself, I need to get Brady a gift. So I thought, well, I'm going to the All-Star game. So I bought a ball that had a logo on it, and it says right on the credential. Tony Gwynn got me really good at this. So right on the credential, it says no autograph.
No autographs, yeah.
So I went into the dugout, and Harmon Killebrew was in there, and I'm thinking,
yeah,
Harmon
Killebrew.
So he signed. I said, I hate to ask. I said, I know I'm not supposed to. He goes, why wouldn't you be supposed to? Why not? So he goes, give me that ball. Hey, Bob. Bob Gibson comes over. All of a sudden, there's all these. So at some point, I say, hey, Rich, can you put this in? And you took it into whatever the locker room was. And you came out anyway, and it was just more Hall of Famers on it.
Oh.
And I remember I put the ball in a little glass or a plastic container. I brought it up there, and I said, now, Chuck, do not open this up. I said, it took me a long time to get it to shut. I had an all-star pin on it. I said, just let Brady open it in about 20 years so he can look up the names.
Yeah.
I think I got Jack Lambert on there.
Oh, man.
I think I got Meatloaf. I'm not remember. But of course, 5 minutes later, I hear, clip. Great. Now we got to figure this thing out. So we managed to get it back together. But I talked to Brady yesterday. It was his birthday. And that you being here and the All-Star game, it's funny how everything comes.
Whoever thought that baseballs would be signed baseballs would be valuable, or cards?
Yeah, absolutely. But people love them.
Yeah,
people love them. Let's check in. We got another. Let's see. We got another one from Ron. Will there be a change at hitting coach position? You believe as the Pirates' weakness is inconsistent hitting?
Well, you know what? They'll reevaluate. They usually don't try to do anything during the year to disrupt everything. The guys have been working with the hitting coach since last winter.
Yep.
And I mean, they'll get together. They'll find out if the players are receptive. Usually, the players will tell you about the coaches. I found that out coaching. If the players don't like the coaches or the manager, you won't be there long.
Yeah.
You won't be there long. So you have to have a good relationship. Fortunately, we had 4 coaches here with Jim Leland for 10 years. The same 4 coaches. The same 4 coaches. It was Milt May, Tommy Santa, Ray Miller, myself, and we had a tremendous relationship. It was because of Jim and the way he treated people, the way he treated players, and we, like I said, we had a wonderful run here.
Absolutely. So we've got Karen's checking back in on the blueberry muffin. She's with you on that. She loves the blueberry muffin, and Paul Gianamore. Let's see. Morning, Bill. Favorite Rich moment in my long career. Rich calling the newspaper from the bullpen in Colorado to check on the Red. I'll tell you what. You know what? I can vouch for that because I would go to spring training when I was first starting, and people, oh, you're from Steubenville, and because you're getting an interview. And so, well, I'm in from WTOV9. You get where's WTOV9? It's in Steubenville. Yeah. Oh, you're one of those guys.
Yeah.
So what's one of those guys? One of Rich's guys.
Yeah.
So he calls you for the football scores.
Yeah, right. Oh, I remember one particular moment. It was in September. We had clinched the pennant with the Pirates, and Van Slyke wasn't playing that day. But I had brought Van Slyke down to a Big Red practice in the summer. So I'm out in the bullpen. I'm the bullpen coach, and I got my phone. I'm kind of hiding it, and I'm trying to talk. I got the game on radio, Yeah. And I saw Van Slyke coming. I thought he was going to get mad and tell on me. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm listening to the Big Red game." He said, "Give me that phone." And he listened to the game during the game. I said, "How about if you have to go pinch hit?" He goes, "I'll tell him I'm hurt. I want to listen to the Reds, see what they're doing."
Well, the funny thing is, I walk in the locker room sometimes, and there's guys walking around with Big Red t-shirts.
Oh yeah, at one time, Sean Casey was in a slump, and I used to kid him all the time about being from Upper St. Clair and everything. Yeah. And I goes, "Oh, you rich guys, you 6-car garage guys." I said, "Our kids walk to school. Our kids got hard, tough. Our kids got muscles in their legs. All you guys are soft. So he was in a little slump in Cincinnati. And I said, I got something that'll get you out of your slump. And I sent him over a big red football shirt. He went 3 for 4, and he wore the shirt all year and ended up hitting 300. And I just saw him the other day, and he always asked about Big Red and everything like that.
Baseball players aren't superstitious, are they?
No. Drive the same way.
Yep.
I mean, I used to drive, like if we had a winning streak, I'd eat the same food.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife goes, you just had that yesterday. I go, well, I'm having it again today. We won. And she said, what do you want for dinner when you come home? I said, I want the same thing I had last night. I had cake. She said, the cake's all gone. I said, make another one. I got to have a piece of cake when I come home. And driving to Three Rivers, I drove the same way. I used to drive a couple different ways, but if we're on a streak, I went through the tunnels all the time. If we're on a streak, I went down to 16, come out on the West End Bridge.
Yeah.
And you're afraid to make a wrong turn.
No, I'm just not going against the streak. I'm not doing it. Well, I'll tell you what, he has a streak of greatness. There's no doubt about it. It's Rich Donnelley, joined us today, former Pirates coach, Texas Ranger coach. How many was about 8 teams?
8 teams. Yeah,
the Dodgers were one.
Dodgers, Mariners, Rockies, Brewers.
And so I can't thank you enough for stopping in. And let's see what Paul has here. Oh, wait. Ron, check back in. What was your favorite coaching position, being a bullpen coach, third base coach as a Pirate? Which one did you?
Third base.
Third base.
You got every pitch. You're in action, and you're responsible. Yeah. I mean, I remember Jim would tell me, he said the most important position on the field for a coach is third base coach. He says you won't win many games, but you can lose them. Mm-hmm. And I always remember that.
All right. And Paul has checked in. Loved meeting you long ago. And when I played for Post 33 with John Rett and my dad, John was friends with you. So Koniski, I think, Konisk.
I got there. A quick story about John.
Sure.
I was in Atlanta coaching, and he saw me in the dugout. And I said, hey, John, how you doing? And I walked away. And all of a sudden I looked, he's in a dugout. I go, John, you can't be in here. He said, I just want to get a couple autographs. I said, John, it's 5 minutes before the game. These guys ain't signing autographs. And I tried to be nice, but that's John. He just walked in the dugout. I mean,
no one stopped him.
And he told the usher that he was assistant general manager. So the usher let him in. And I'm going, what? I said, how the hell did you get in here? He said, I told him I was the assistant GM for the Pirates. I love John. Oh, God rest his soul. Love John. Love John.
That is funny. And see, he's got more stories to share, but we're running out of time right now. So we're going to have to say so long for now. Hopefully we can do this again.
Anytime.
Maybe a little bit later in the summer. Maybe we'll get you ready for your high school football previews. I know you'll be paying attention to what's going on with Big Red. It is Valley Converting. So happy that they are sponsoring us. Can't thank them enough. Check them out in Toronto, Gem City, if you're looking to recycle paper products. Can't thank everybody enough for the comments today. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Greatly appreciate the questions and comments. Love seeing everybody every day. Rich, again, can't thank you enough for being here. Looking forward to maybe doing this again sometime soon. But you remember, everybody, our 2 rules. 2 rules. Have fun and always try your best. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next time.